Tonight's top story, an 8-day-old baby girl in Arkansas is in the hospital. Forest City police say she was raped and beaten by her own father. Here's the guy police say did it. 18-year-old Reginald Davis. Tonight he's charged with rape and second-degree battery.
From Kalamazoo in jail tonight facing child abuse charges for allegedly beating her own baby. Tonight the little girl in a hospital bed as family members try to cope and understand this terrible reality.
Heartbreaking pictures taken from the hospital room of nearly one-year-old Heaven Diamond, the little girl covered in bandages, breathing from a tube, banged up, broken, and bruised.
And the doctors think she lay in the state of a coma for 5 to 7 days before they even brought her into the hospital.
The case of the father accused of biting his child's eyes out is still raising serious questions tonight, and today county leaders demanded more information.
Also today, Eyewitness News has the latest on the man accused in this case, Angelo Mendoza.
And somebody called in, and they were just livid about my talking about adoring God. And so we want to find out what's wrong. This person apparently was on a jury that week in some courtroom in Los Angeles and had seen evidence of a particularly terrible case of child molestation. And so I asked the person who calls in, I said, that really makes you indignant, doesn't it? You're really upset about that. I mean, to belabor the obvious. Absolutely. How can you believe in a God that will allow that kind of thing? I said, well, okay. If you're really unhappy about that, then you want to play for keeps here. You want to say it's absolutely wrong for a person to molest the child, don't you? I do too, as a Christian. I happen to think it's horrible. It's a tragic situation, but even more, it's abominable in the eyes of God. Well, this person, you see, says, yes, I don't want it, to be something that's like different strokes for different folks. I don't think people have the right to molest children. I say, either do I. That's fine. Now, since you don't believe in God, and you're very angry that I talk about adoring God and so forth, let's stop and think about it. If you don't believe in God, then what defines right and wrong? What is the standard of right and wrong? Do you believe that every individual has to choose for himself his standards of morality? Well, yeah. I say, well, don't you see? If you don't believe in God, then you have no reason to condemn child molestation at all, do you? Because if you don't believe in God, the person who molested that child had every right to follow his moral convictions, and you have every right to be upset with it. But that's just the way it is in this world, sound and fury signifying nothing. There are no universal absolute standards of morality if you don't believe in God. And so my point is, in order for you to be just that indignant about child molestation, you must first believe that there's a God whose holy character defines right and wrong for all mankind. Otherwise, it's just some people get their pleasure in a way that you don't prefer. And none of us want to let child molestation go with that kind of cop-out. It's like, well, this is not to everybody's taste, but some people like to abuse children. You cannot condemn child molestation if you're an atheist. Or if you do, the condemnation amounts only to this. It's translated as, that's not my preference.
Well, morality can change amongst people, yeah. Everybody has different styles of morality. I mean, I have my own. You probably have your own. I mean, my friends Sean, Brian, and all them, they probably have their own morality in life.
Yes.
Just mine is just my own that I've known all my life.
So everybody has their own standard of right and wrong? Nobody's is better than somebody else's?
No, I don't believe anything is better than anyone else's.
All morals are subjective. What's right to one person isn't necessarily right or wrong to another person.
Whenever you say that such and such scenario is right or wrong, you are stating your opinion on whether or not what they did is right or wrong, and that is inherently subjective.